Hey, we're connected, we're live, we're ready to go. And I've got my sound on, and I tested my internet. Hello and welcome to HODL Harmony, where the beat of the blockchain meets the rhythm of riches. Are you riding this crypto wave with me? I sure hope you are. I, Tom Durante, the maestro, am your guide, but a humble crypto enthusiast. Your guide and a humble crypto enthusiast. That's me. I hope you can handle it, because I can handle it. I hope you can handle no background, no backdrop, just like the old days. What do you say? What do you say? I gotta figure out a better way to do the mic. That's not it. That is not it. It's always something. Welcome back. It's been a couple of days. That's not gonna work. Alright, anyway, it's just gonna have to be right in front of my face. That's alright. How you doing? Welcome. I'm Tom Durante, the maestro, a crypto enthusiast who got into this wild world back in 2020 with just a GPU mining rig and a passion for passive income. That is weird why that does that. Anyway, I'm trying to figure some stuff out here. Yeah, I like taking profits. No, I am bullish on Bitcoin and Cardano, but I also like taking profits with other coins when and where that is appropriate, as you see. As we watch the markets, we learn and we grow together. That's what we do. With my background in music and my music in the background, I bring a unique vibe to breaking down the crypto economy. Think of it as a soundtrack to your hodling journey. That's what it is. That's indeed what it is. I broke my little, where is it? I broke the little thing, the selfie stick that I was using, and now I'm trying to use a new one, but it's got all, it's doing this, and I'm like, I don't want you to do that. That's not what I need you to do. I need you to sit there and not do that. Anyway, I will figure it out, I promise. It's unfortunate, but that's all right. Here on HODL Harmony, expect daily videos with market updates. That'll kind of work. Simple technical analysis to read those charts. Wallet guides to keep your coins safe, stories from my ongoing mining journey, and practical crypto tips, and just other fun discourse in general. Discourse and discord, you see? You see what I did there? Whether you're new or a seasoned hodler, I'm here to learn and grow with you. Yo, scammed. Oh, you're about to hear all about it. What's up, chat? I forgot to put up my what's up, chat. I also forgot to put up my Discord since I talked about it. Yeah, it didn't happen specifically to me, although I was involved. I will get into that after I do my intro, after I post my link for the Discordio. Sounds like an instrument. The Discordio. All right. Hey, we got some people in here watching now that everything's working. I hope you weren't fooled by my first video that did not work. I got to go back and let me delete that real quick. Let's see. I'm here to learn and grow with you. I may be a few years ahead of you on your journey, but I'm no expert. So as always, do your own research and take responsibility for your own actions. Right? So if you want to help out the channel in our mission of growth, let me delete that other one there. Boom, deleting video, so nobody's fooled watching a video that does not have any content. Let me pull up my Grok analysis. We had a little talk last time, and hopefully Grok is going to behave. I think so, because I did start a new chat just in case to see what it came up with, and I actually like the old chat. So we're gonna try it out. Maybe we'll dip into both and see what we have here. So without further ado, if you want to help out the channel in our mission of growth, there's a couple things that you can do, and check it out. We have grown significantly. We are looking at 5,909 subscribers. That's awesome. That is us. We are a community. I just don't know. I didn't have this pulled up, so I didn't know what I was showing there just then. Uh-oh. My chat's not showing up. That's not good. Let me go in and refresh this. Overlay, refresh. Hey, I love being able to fix things. It's so much fun. You know what I mean? All right. So, if you want to help out the channel, I'm gonna get there. If you want to help out this channel in our mission of growth, there's a couple things that me and Angry Beethoven will ask of you. Number 1, hit that like button. Number 2, smash the subscribe. Number 3, poke the notification bell so you get notified whenever I put out new content. Number 4, share the show with everyone you know. That will help us grow. Fo show. Number 5, join the conversation on Discord. And now I have posted that link in the chat, so you have no excuse. It's free, and you may even get some more benefits out of that. I went through, speaking of number 6, joining the Patreon. Let me just kind of give you a glimpse into the Patreon here. So I recently incorporated my business as a corporation. So I am now an LLC, Durante's House of Music Productions Limited Liability Company. That's me. And so going forward, I'm going to have an umbrella structure. So I have Durante's House of Music as my overall company. And underneath that, I will have my Durante's House of Music, which is, Durante's House of Music, the YouTube channel. I will have Durante's Music Technical Services, which is my piano repair business. And underneath that as well, level to all of these, I will have my HODL Harmony and other things to come in the future that we will talk about. You may or may not even know what I'm talking about, but that's okay. Got to keep my cards close to my chest. All right, so I recently put out a pretty interesting post, a very, very long one. It's one of the longest ones I've put out here. It just seems to me that the Bitcoin stuff, although I'm a music expert, and I can say that, although I am a music expert, I don't know, I find Bitcoin more interesting. So I have more things, I guess maybe because I've done music my whole life. It's just, I find Bitcoin new and exciting. And so I find more interesting things to talk about with Bitcoin. So look at that lovely chart of, I think it's the daily candles. No, the hourly candles. Okay. So what I did was, just to kind of pique your interest a bit. So I finally had some time to sit down. I was traveling this week, and I was in a hotel room all by myself. So I had some time to just kind of sit and do some things. And so what was on my mind? Why isn't Bitcoin and crypto doing more? And so I said, buckle up, this is a long one. So what I did was I took a prompt, and I took the same prompt and I put it into Grok, and I also put it into another AI called Perplexity. You may or may not have heard of that. It's, from what I understand, my best friend who is a engineer, mechanical engineer, I think, he told me about that, and he said it's more of a scientific AI. If you have some really specific scientific questions, you can put it into there. I was having trouble installing a node on a Linux-based computer, right? Instead of doing the Umbrel, the plug-and-play Umbrel, or Start 9, which is plug-and-play as well. Very easy, kind of like iOS-based, not based, but iOS where you just download apps and your things kind of just work and everything works together really well. The old school way of doing a Bitcoin node is just installing the software on any computer. You can do it on Windows, you could do it on Mac, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't take a whole lot of compute power to do. So I had a small computer I installed Linux on it. I use Ubuntu for now. Although I've used a lot of different Linux distributions, but I like Ubuntu for its simplicity and ease of use. And so I was having some trouble getting it installed. And not only just getting it installed, I got it installed fine, but I was trying to install the Electrum server and the public pool mining app so I can mine, solo mine to my thing, my node, and it was just giving me all kinds of trouble. So Grok was helpful, but we got stuck. We got stuck in a rut and we were repeating over and over the same kind of process. And so what happened, I put all of what I was talking about, or generally where I was at, stuck on the problem with Grok, I put it into Perplexity, and boom, I got an answer. I put that answer back into Grok, and away we went. We were off and running. So Perplexity was a good choice. So basically, I asked the same question, more or less like, what's happening in the market right now? The question here, was what's your evaluation of the current Bitcoin and crypto market, and blah, blah, blah. Why, although we're at all-time highs and in price discovery, why do we continue to stagnate and go sideways for extended periods of time? And so I just pasted the answers in here and, just kind of like, here, what do you think? This is what the AIs think, and it's pretty long. And then what I did was I took both of those answers and I put them into Grok and I said, can you compare and contrast these? So that is a really, really long post. It's really detailed analysis of the current market state, and it is available on the Patreon. So all of this is still how you can support the channel in our mission of growth. All right. Are you still with me? Dragon's Den, are you out there? Because I've got a doozy of a story for you. But first, this is your reminder that your body is mostly water, and I am, in fact, the Lord of the Strings. And I tell you, I decree, as Lord of the Strings, I decree that your body is mostly water. You, my lovely subjects, I was going to say lowly subjects, but I have more respect for you than that. You're not my subjects. I'm just teasing, obviously. Your body's mostly water. Get your daily dose and stay hydrated. All right, you ready to hear it? He's here. He says, sup. I don't know who else is here, but away I was in Orlando. I don't know how much detail I'm going to go into. The entire story, or maybe not the entire story. Let me check. Most of what I'm about to say, is in the Discord, and nobody has seen it. The Discord's been a little quiet lately, but I posted this entire story on the Discord, and it's a little personal, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. But some money was scammed from my family. Not me directly, but my mom. And it's a horrible situation. I feel really, really bad that it happened. And it's a pretty significant sum of money. It's not a trivial amount. It's not $1,000. It's not a couple $1,000s. It's a significant amount of money. It's not $100,000, but it's a pretty significant amount of money. And so what happened was, I'm sitting in my car. I had already checked out of the hotel, but I still had meetings and things that I was attending. And so I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I just hung out in my car. I was, I'm pretty sure I talked about, I lost my job as a teacher, and because of some complications for me getting my certificate upgraded from the temporary to the permanent. So I was trying to call my mortgage company and say, hey, I've had a loss of income. What options do I have to lower my mortgage payment? Trying to be proactive. Unfortunately, they can't help you lower your mortgage payment if you're current on your mortgage. You have to be behind on your mortgage for them to even want to help you. There were some documents or something I could submit to, like, hey, is there anything we can do? But long story short, not really much you can do if you're current on your mortgage, which is weird. I'm trying to be proactive, but anyway, I'm sitting there on hold with the mortgage company. I get a call. It's not an 800 number, which should have been my first clue. It's from Texas, blah, 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 whatever. But basically, I answer the phone because I was kind of distracted. I was already on another phone call, and I was just like, what is this? Because it called, I ignored it, and they called back. So I answer the phone. hello, this is, I don't remember if he even said his name, but he was like, hi, I'm with Wells Fargo Fraud Department, and we've noticed a couple fraudulent charges on your account. So I immediately pulled up my bank account and I said, I don't see anything. I don't see what you're talking about. Oh, they've already been retracted or whatever. You know, they've already been taken off of there. So of course you're not going to see them. All right, that should have been my first clue. First of all, not an 800 number. Second of all, the bank is not going to call you about fraud. You're going to call the bank about fraud. So 2 red flags I missed already. All right. And so my dad and I have the same name, except for our middle names. So sometimes we get confused. I was like, oh, are you talking about my dad? Oh, well, yeah, of course. It's Tom Durante Sr., blah, 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 whatever. And so my third strike, 3 strikes, and I'm out. I gave the guy my mom's phone number. I was like, oh, well, here's my mom's number. You can reach out to her and see what the problem is. Strike 3, I'm out. I screwed up. And he called my mom and proceeded to convince her that he was with the fraud department, just as he was with me. So he had access to her entire account. He was reading off charges and things like that, and it made sense, and he was able to convince her that the bank was trying to steal her money. And you got to go into the bank right now and take out all your money in cash. And you're going to give it to this guy who's an undercover FBI agent, right? And so under duress, under stress, that's exactly what she did. So she handed over cash in a bag or in an envelope to some guy, and clearly it was not an undercover agent. The car was not an undercover police car. It was just some random car, trashy looking and things like that. So needless to say, a significant amount of money was handed over by my mom to some guy. And hopefully, because this exchange happened in public, it was at a Walgreens parking lot, and the dude actually went into the Walgreens, she said. So hopefully there is footage of him, there is footage of the exchange, and hopefully they can apprehend him and put him behind bars for a very long time, because I am sick to my stomach, I am distraught, I am enraged, and I am embarrassed that I answered the phone and I was convinced and she was convinced, and this whole thing could have been avoided. So it's an extremely unfortunate situation and I feel horrible. The only reason I tell you this is so that if it happens to you, then you can hopefully avoid it, unlike what happened to us. I believe everything's going to be okay. My mom's still working, my parents still work. I'm looking for work, but I am still working. So this is a really, really bad situation. Somebody texted me. So yeah, please protect yourselves. If you don't answer the phone if you don't know it. Let them leave a message, go to voicemail, and then you can figure it out. I've been getting a lot of phone calls because I put my number out. I know, it's incredibly horrible. I feel sick to my stomach just thinking about it. But I want to spread the word because I want to avoid other people in the same situation. So I think basically what would solve the issue, other than just not answering the fucking phone, is all of these 2-factor authentication things, right? So you can get SIM swapped is something that I've heard about, is like your phone can get hacked and they can duplicate your phone number or whatever. They can pretend that they have your phone, and so then they can apprehend your 2-factor authentication codes. So, that's one thing that you may want to avoid, is setting your phone numbers up with these situations and things like that. If your email is secure, I use Gmail for most of my stuff, but I also have Proton Mail, which I have heard is very secure. So I use Proton Mail for a lot of things. Not enough, but a certain amount of things. But the one thing that is a higher level, let me see if I can grab it real quick. One thing that is a highest level of security that you can have is a physical, like this is like a two-factor authentication code on steroids, basically. So this is called a YubiKey. Okay, let me get it up close there. And so what it is, that little gold piece with the Y you see here, let's see if I can hold it still, there it is. So this is just a USB stick, but also it is an NFC. So I have it hooked up to my Coinbase account. And so whenever I try to do anything on my Coinbase account, I have to touch this to my phone. Let me see if it'll work real quick so I can show you. Because basically what happens, when I scan this to my phone, it pops up and it says Authenticator NFC tag, right? And so whenever I put a transaction, you can obviously send things to Coinbase with no problem. But if I want to take things out of Coinbase, I have to scan this. And if I don't, it won't allow me to send anything. So this is a physical device that nobody can duplicate, nobody can SIM swap, nobody can anything. So I have my Gmail accounts protected with this. I have my bank account, I think it's hooked up with this, but like basically I've switched over, and I've had this for at least a year. And so I'm going to get one for my mom, and we'll get her hooked up with the latest and greatest of security, and at least get her set up with some two-factor authentication, so that this kind of thing can't happen. It's just bizarre. So the guy was on the phone with her and convinced her that the bank is trying to steal your money. We've been having a lot of problems with this branch, and so you need to go in there. Somebody already went in to try and take all of your money out, and we have them on camera. But what we need you to do is you need to go in there and get on camera taking your money out so that we know it's you. And so, it's just the most horrible. I feel so bad for my mom. And it's going to be tough, but I think we're going to make it through. So it's just horrible. It's just horrible. And, there's not, hopefully that they can catch the people. But basically, she walked into the bank, took out all her money, and handed it to the guy. So, unless they catch him on the cameras, there's not much that they can do because she voluntarily did this. And the guy was on the phone with her, he had her put him, the phone call was still on, and had to put the phone in her purse while she was in the bank doing all this stuff. So it's just completely sketchy. I feel so bad that she fell for this. And at the time, she called me afterwards, and we were both like, wow, yeah, that's crazy. I hope they get the bank sucks. Oh my gosh, I hope they get, hope this works out. And then later I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, I gave the dude your number. Wouldn't the bank have your number? And then we were just like, oh fuck, that was for real. That was scam. We just got fucked. So it's horrible. So please be careful. I was reprimanding Grok because it kept telling me about all of these crypto scams. And this is not a crypto scam. This was a fiat scam. So, that's the original scam, obviously. Fiat's been around longer than crypto. So people have been scamming old people. My mom's 70, but she's still working. She's not aloof. She's still lucid. So it's just, even the best and brightest of us can be subjected to this. So be on your guard. That is really the only reason that I share this. It's intensely personal, but because something bad happened, I want to try and protect other people and share my story. So please send your thoughts and prayers out. And if you feel like helping out, reach out to me and we can figure something out. But I feel horrible, very horrible. So anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to get into the news. And I think I'm just going to read off the TV because I can see it right here. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Please be careful out there, folks. Please be careful. You never know. Don't answer the phone if you don't know who it is. And I typically don't. I really typically don't. But I was just distracted, and I was busy. I had a lot of things on my mind, so it's unfortunately. So maybe this crypto market will take off, and I'll be able to pay my mom back. I really hope. That's one of my new goals this year, is to hopefully this crypto thing takes off. And I told her, I was like, okay, we're going to set you up. We're going to get your security figured out on your bank account, because she had to open all new accounts. And I was like, listen, if you want to, because she already, I custody her Bitcoin. She has a little bit of Bitcoin, and I custody it for her. So I'm going to see if we can get set up, if she decides to put more into Bitcoin after this, maybe she will see the benefit of it a little bit more clearly. And I want to look more into the multi-sig wallets, where there's I probably want to set up, because there's 3 of us, I want to set up like a 3 of 4 or maybe a 4 of 5, because I have some hardware wallets that we could use, or maybe I'll even buy some more cold cards or whatever, to where my dad has to sign, my mom has to sign, I have to sign, and another device has to sign. All right, because I can hold 2 and they can each hold 1, and so nothing happens if 4 out of 5 of these wallets don't sign. And so I think that's probably a good decision going forward. I'm going to look more into that, and I'll probably do a guide about it. But let's get into some crypto news, brought to you by Grok. But wait, we gotta beam in our special guests, beaming in from the Starship Enterprise, as always. Captain Kirk, Spock, Dr. McCoy, and who's it? Sulu? Yeah, Lieutenant Sulu. There they are. And Uhura is on her way. I will have Uhura tomorrow night after I go over to my parents for dinner. All right, let's get into some news here, and so I can stop thinking about the horrible thing that happened. Crypto market rises 2.5% to $3.85 trillion. The global crypto market cap surged 2.5% with $125 billion in trading volume, as 95 of the top 100 coins gained, driven by Bitcoin's rally to $118,000 and positive U.S. inflation data. Bitcoin surges to $118,000. Bitcoin rose 4.2% to $118,000, fueled by $14.4 billion in 2025 spot Bitcoin ETF inflows and Trump's pro-crypto policies, with analysts projecting 130,000 by quarter 3. That's now. Yeah, that's quarter 3, but we're at the beginning of quarter 3, so... All right, Ethereum ETF inflows hit $400 million. Ethereum ETF saw $400 million in inflows this week, pushing ETH above $3,500 for the first time since December. Okay. XRP volatility spikes 15%. XRP's implied volatility hit 15%, suggesting a potential price swing, with analysts eyeing a breakout to $4 amid ETF speculation, per CoinDesk. Solana DeFi TVL tops $6 billion. Solana DeFi total value locked exceeds $6 billion, driven by new protocols and ETF filings, boosting SOL to $220. Coinbase integrates an AI wallet. Coinbase launched an AI-powered wallet for seamless DeFi interactions, attracting 600,000 users in beta. And Congress advancing crypto tax relief. This story right here is why I chose this instance rather than the other one. The U.S. House advanced a crypto tax relief bill, exempting small transactions from capital gains. Yes, that's a huge deal, sparking altcoin optimism. Binance adds SOL staking rewards. I think we talked about that the other day. Binance introduced 18% APY staking rewards for Solana, driving SOL and BNB gains amid exchange competition. And our Bitcoin mining specific news. Solo miner wins A block reward. A solo Bitcoin miner successfully mined a block. This was today, apparently, collecting the 3.125 Bitcoin worth $373,000, highlighting the network's decentralization, per Cointelegraph and posts on X. Bitmain skirts US tariffs on miners. Bitmain funneled 187 tons of ant miner parts. Oh man, to avoid US tariffs, boosting mining hardware availability amid Bitcoin's rally. That's an interesting way to go about it. You just ship all the parts and then assemble them into miners over here. Interesting. But if you're sending something from China, it doesn't matter what it is, it's going to have a tariff, isn't it? I don't know. All right. Our top 5 crypto gainers in as few breaths as possible. Uniswap up 23%, surged on whale accumulation and DeFi momentum. Ethereum up 8%, climbed to 3,500 on $400 million ETF inflows in DeFi. XRP up 6%, gained on volatility spike in ETF speculation. Solana up 5.5%, rose to $210 on $6.5 billion DeFi TVL milestone and ETF filings. Bitcoin up 4.2%, soared to $118,000 on ETF inflows and Trump's policies. 2 breaths. Not counting the ending one. Almost lost it there. Sometimes I just can't speak. All right, top 5 crypto losers in as few breaths as possible. Let's go. Toncoin down 2.5%, fell due to ecosystem slowdown. Dang it. Aptos down 2%, dropped amid fading blockchain hype. BNB down 1.5%, declined on BNB chain market concerns. Polkadot down 1.2%, eased due to ecosystem stagnation. And Tron down 0.8%, slipped despite 600 billion USDT dominance. That was like 2.5, 3 maybe. All right, so I'm gonna go over to this one. We've got a basic trivia question because I did start over. I just want to go over some of these stories here just so we can see. I won't read through all of them. Senate pushes crypto bill clarity. Committee released a discussion draft aimed at resolving crypto market structures. Let's see. BlackRock's major crypto expansion. Trump media's $2 billion Bitcoin purchase. Ethereum exit queue spike. Coinbase brand rebrand boosts token. So that we talked about that on Wednesday, where all you had to do is if you had Coinbase wallet, you go and you update your app, and now it's Base. And so it can drive volatility in layer 2 ecosystems. Okay, Sui faced major liquidation. Sui broke out of a 2-week consolidation, but now risks significant liquidations as prices fluctuate. All right, and so, so this happened today. And that's in my X stories because I've been on X a lot lately since I've had nothing else to do. So, okay, so HBAR was another good gainer. Sui, Avalanche, Stellar, I'm not convinced with, and ADA. ADA had a decent little pump today, which was nice, and it said that there were no negatives reported. Okay, so in the other one, and actually might be in the beginning of this one too. Where was it? I guess in the other one it said 95 of the top 100 gained. So there weren't many losers, it said. But this is the smallest gainers, it said. Anyway, so let's look at our trivia question. Dang it. Okay, we've already had this question, but it's been a while, and we got to see who's watching. So, make sure, if you're on Discord, you need to chat. I'm looking at you. We are looking at you, my Rumblonians. If you're on Rumble, please throw a chat in there. There's 3 of you in there. There's 4 of us on YouTube here. Throw something in the chat for me. Here's a trivia question for you. And we've had it already before, but it's okay. I'm going to let it slide because we're redoing some stuff here. What specific hashing algorithm does Bitcoin use for its proof of work consensus mechanism? That's the question. I don't know why. And why is it significant? That's not a question. That's a follow-up question. So, what is Bitcoin's mining proof of work consensus algorithm? All right, we can see some decent gains. This is clearly a W right here. Yeah. So we are gaining ever so slightly. We are looking at a price of $118,055.22. Don't forget about that. So that looks pretty good. Tomorrow we'll take a look at our week in review. It's been kind of boring, which is why I did that story on my Patreon that I did. Let's look at my beloved ADA. And we're also going to look at HBAR, because that one had a nice run up today. I checked that, and I hit a price target, but I may not take it. Did I hit it? I think I did actually hit it. All right, and you can still see it's a little sloppy, but it's still following almost what Bitcoin's following. It's like a little sloppy W right here. All right, so we're looking at 82.42 now, 82 cents, almost 82.5 cents for our beloved ADA, which is lovely. Lovely indeed. All right, I'm excited. I have been, buying a little bit. I had a little extra money this week, so it may be my last paycheck from school, but I don't think so, because it was not all of everything. I'm supposed to get paid for my sick time that I had banked up, and that was not in there. So I'm expecting one more paycheck for the year before I'm done, and I may just... I'll probably pay bills with it, but if I have any left over, it's going into crypto, gosh dang it. And under $1, I'm buying ADA as much as possible. And I'm still mining Bitcoin. I had to turn my miners off, most of them. I actually switched my Avalon Q. I switched it to solo mining while I was away, just in case. And wouldn't you know, somebody hit a solo block. And every time you'll see, I think I'll pull it up on X, but that account Vivek or something, he always posts, somebody hit a Bitcoin mining block. And I said, is it me? I hope it's me. I want it to be me. It's not me. I mean, I don't know. I haven't checked my wallet that I'm mining to, but I don't think it was me. I wish it was me. All right, let's take a look at some other projects here. Algorand, 27.5 cents. All right, everything's coming up today, which is great. eGold, or Multiverse X, excuse me. It's still eGold over here. I don't know why. Is looking good at $16. I would love, I would love to see us go back up to some significant levels. That Multiverse X, when it was eGold, was a very good performer for me in 2020. Ethereum Classic, I have a nice warm place in my heart for Ethereum Classic. Don't hate me. $22.93. HBAR, let's take a look. All right, it had a nice run up to almost my price target of 30 cents. So my price target is 30 cents, and that's where I will take my next profits. Let's put that over here. So HBAR, let me pull up my little note. Is this for you? Well, I just got a new request for a tuning in Tampa. I don't usually like to go to Tampa, but hey, I'm broke. Oh, and it's a direct lead. Okay, so I got some time to get to that. What was I doing? Oh yeah, my note. So my price targets for HBAR are as follows. When I did this back in July of 24, the price was 7 cents. That is quite a price. So you can see we've made some significant gains from a year ago, which is excellent. My price targets, and I've already hit one. So I quadrupled my money. I sold some HBAR, at 28 cents. Okay, so can I strike this out? Nah, I don't know. Okay, so I hit it. Hit. Okay, this was 12.24. Okay, hit on 12.24. My next price target, I don't know why. I may skip it. This is why I may skip it, because it's only 2 cents above, but like we've gone down significantly and come back up. So my next price target is 30 cents. So I might skip. My next price target after that is 45 cents, right? Yeah. And then my final price target that I put on my list here is 90 cents. And you can see I'm just kind of coming up with some numbers that sound good to me, and significant gains from where I was at. So from 7 cents, 28 cents is a 4x, which is pretty good, you know, for an altcoin. That's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. And so I just kind of like, you know, I don't know where I came up with the 30 because that's too close. Usually, like, I skipped a little bit further, like you said, 45, you know, 45, and then maybe it's not quite double, but a little bit closer to doubling the 28, and then 90 is not quite, no, actually it is doubling. So doubling the 45. So I was just expecting, like, as we go up, it's going to be a little bit kind of logarithmic, or I think exponential, something like that. I'm not good with math, or terminology with math. So anyway, that's that. So that's H-bar. I'm looking for 30 cents, and I may or may not take that, because I think 45 cents will be coming up right after that. All right. All right, let's take a look here at everything else. The Dow Jones up 200 points. This is probably from Friday. It ended 200 points up. 52 for the NASDAQ, S&P up 25. What is this? This is the Vanguard S&P ETF, 2.3%. I did pretty good with this one because this pays, I think I did a high yield with that one. I did pretty good with that. So I do own some stocks. That's important to watch them, because now, especially with all the institutional money, we are looking pretty similar to the stock market, unfortunately. But we will never be the same as the stonks, as I like to call them. All right, gold down $30. Silver only down 80 cents, 88 cents. And a barrel of oil down $1. Okay, you can see our foreign exchange currencies pairs here. Dollar index up ever so slightly, but we're still under 100, so I think that is good for crypto. All right, finally, let's take a look at our hash rate. Where'd that go? There it is. All right. As always, I gotta do that. Okay, there we go. All right, nice little jump, but you can see we're just kind of bouncing around here. Let's go to this, and I probably have to log in again, but as you can see on my Satoshi counter so far, and I'm pretty sure this is accurate now that all my miners are up and running again. So far, since the beginning of this live stream, I have mined 3,325 Satoshis and counting. This is so exciting, so very exciting. I love mining Satoshis. I'm just so excited to see where it goes in the future, you know, and to see my hard work and my sacrifice pay off, because it's been quite a year, you know. I was not expecting us to be still struggling to break over $120,000 in July, in late July, you know, especially after all the movement we had at the beginning of July. I was like, okay, here we go, and not. So it's a little disappointing. Active addresses, it's kind of stagnant, a little bit low, but you can see the moving average like a straight line, basically. This is, that's the yearly simple moving average. And the 30-day you can see fluctuating a little bit, but still, right within a range there. And I zoomed in pretty far. So we're looking, that's June. So since this is the beginning of July right here. So active addresses a little bit down, but as you can see, it kind of fluctuates up and down. All right, let's refresh this difficulty page, reset the zoom, and boom shakalaka. Ooh, Bitcoin just got harder to mine as of today. Oh man, that's all right. It's all right, everybody. If you can mine some Satoshis, you just sit there and you mine them. That's all you do. All right, so I wanted to pull up CoinGecko just to corroborate, if that is how you pronounce that word, the information that we are getting from Grok, because I don't know who I can trust anymore, especially after what happened with my family. So yeah, 3.96. So let's go back and double check Grok, and I'm gonna just correct Grok because it is capable of learning. It needs to be capable of learning. So let's go over here to this one where it told me the crypto market cap. And nobody so far has put in an answer for what the algorithm is for Bitcoin. 3.89. Okay, so you're off by a little bit there, Grok. I will have a conversation with you later. Okay. But it's good. I really wish we could get this dark mode. Hey, there we go. I love dark mode. Easier on the eyes. All right, so top gainers, there we go. Oh, Uranus. I'm going to take a little drink of water. Of course, these are not the top coins. So let's just look at the top 10 here. So, over the day, Bitcoin up 0.6, Ethereum up 1.4, I think it just dropped from 1.6, XRP up 1.8, Tether doesn't move, hopefully, BNB up 1.8, Solana, garbage, up 0.1, USDC down somehow. I always thought like you could probably arbitrage this if it ever goes down like that and you buy a bunch and then it goes up a little bit, like that would be a way to make some money. Dogecoin up 1.4%. Lido staked Ether, never heard of that, up 1.5%. Tron, not particularly interested, 0.9%. ADA, get your ass into the top 10, bro, up 1%. Okay, so yeah, Wrapped ETH, Hyperliquid, Sui. Let's just go top 25. Let's see what we got. Okay, Shiba Inu, hey, I have about 1 million of those. Not that it'll ever do anything, but hey, I got them. Oh, HBAR, look at you. Up in the top 20, up 6.8%. I have a feeling HBAR is going to do really well. I've heard a lot over the years about HBAR, and I am on the train. Here we go. I got my ticket. It's time to take the ride. All right, Fear and Greed. We are hanging on to greed for dear life, my friends. 64 on the Fear and Greed. We are 46 on the altcoin season index. So we're right in the middle, basically slightly leaning towards Bitcoin. And Bitcoin dominance is still at 60.4%. All right. I don't think I can make this page dark. Did I refresh? I think I did. All right. So this is a combination, of course, of the AI, the Bitcoin, and the Cardano search terms. Okay. Just so we can see them all together, see how they correlate and things like that. So everything's going down slightly. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Dropping back down to 33. We had a good week. It was a good week. Let's hope for some more search action going on here. Let's look at Cardano. Again, we had a beautiful week and now we're looking to drop, but that's okay. It's all right. It's all part of the story. Let's see what happens here. We're holding steady, holding very steady. We're getting close to losing it to Alphabet, but I think we'll hold it if we get a nice pump today or tomorrow. What do you say, fam? What do you say? All right, you know what time it is. First, let me remind you that in the description of every video, I have a link to my cash flow document that I made just for you lovely people. And here's a sample of one. Of course, it's up on your screen as well, not anymore, but it will be in a second. So basically what you're looking at is a cash flow, income and expenses, assets and liabilities document that I have made and provided for you because I care about you and I want you to laser focus on your finances. And what I have found, I've been doing this for over 3 years now, maybe even 5 years, but I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Why, hello there. Gertie Lucerne Nicor, Bitcoin Josephine April BTC. Not sure what you're trying to say there, but welcome to you. So I read Rich Dad Poor Dad and learned about the cash flow idea of checking out your money and things like that. And what I found was when I focused my attention on my finances, I watched them grow. And I was more attuned to what was going on. So basically, I is income. You put your income sources in here and you total it up. You put your expenses, E, in here and you total it up. And then what I like to do is I subtract my income or my expenses from my income. And then I get a number there. So that's what's left over. That's my spending amount that I have left over for the month. Hopefully it's positive. And then of course you have assets. Now, your house is not an asset. Your car is not an asset. Things that are assets are your crypto portfolio, basically. Your investments, things that accrue value and don't cost you anything to maintain. Your house is a liability. Your car is a liability. Your student loans are a liability. All of these things go in here. So assets are like precious metals, stock portfolios, things like that. Your investments that make you money without costing you money or a lot of money. So liabilities would be your mortgage, your car loan, any other personal loans that you may have, things like that go in the liabilities. Okay, and then I just like to total them up just to see where they're at, and you can, I don't think they correlate, so you don't need to subtract them from each other. And then some other things that I want to keep track of, obviously the date, and over here I have the Bitcoin price. The E is cut off underneath the C there of the credit score, and your credit score, so you can pay attention to all of these data points. So what you do, you save this, you can download it. I think you make a copy of it or something and you download it for yourself, and then it's all yours. And I put 6 boxes here, so that means that you can keep track of 6 months at a time. You print 2 on a single piece of paper, you got a whole year's worth of finances, and there you go. Okay, let's check in with my mining farm. All 3 miners that are hooked up at the moment. I was having a problem. The fan on my Nerd Axe was vibrating, so and now I hear something rattling around in there. So I'm gonna take that apart and see what the hell that is, because that's my solo miner, the only one right now that's working, and these are my pool miners. So they are making me little pennies every day. So today so far, since 8 o'clock, I've made 77 cents. Yesterday, I don't know what's going on. It didn't read anything, but my miners were back on yesterday. So I don't know why I haven't been making anything. But you can see I've had a couple days of no income, but that's okay. We're back on the saddle here. And my Bitcoin node is almost halfway done. It's only been going for like a month. I don't know what's taking so long, but I am committed to letting it do its thing because I already have 2 other nodes that I use. So anyway, that is that. Any other questions, you go ahead and you let me know. If you did not catch my Wednesday live stream this week, that was the 23rd, I believe, I need to cut it into a short, but I did a Yoroi wallet guide. I think it's the first wallet guide that we've done. No, actually, the first wallet guide that I did was way back in the day when I met Mr. Butters, and he was one of the only people watching my channel, and I was like, hey, do you know about Sparrow Wallet? And so I did a Sparrow Wallet guide just for Mr. Butters. And I believe it is up here somewhere. Sparrow Wallet. There it is. Oh gosh, I don't know what my password is. Apparently I do know what my password is. Alright, so you can't see this, but there's my Sparrow wallet. And you can see my Yoroi wallet too. I have $6 in this Sparrow wallet, but I did a little wallet guide here. Sparrow wallet is a very secure and very feature-rich wallet. So check that out. I will probably do some individual guides for each of these. And the next one up on the docket is the Lace wallet, because they just introduced a identity layer on the Lace wallet. So I'm excited to check that out when it comes out. So there you have it. I want to start taking some... Oh, go away, please. I want to take some stories from, crypto news. I pulled that up, and CoinDesk. I pulled that up because I just can't trust Grok by itself anymore. But it does corroborate some of the stories. Coinbase app rebrand. Michael Saylor builds out a yield curve. So I'll get into some of these stories before I go live next time, and I'll have those pulled up for you so we can take a look at them. Bitcoin enters reserve conversation, but gold still rules as dollar grows weak. Ethereum on the move. Record exit queue raises eyebrows, not alarm bells. So this looks like a pretty good site. Maybe I could even feed this into Grok. Wow, look at that cute little turtle. Oh my gosh. And a little Doji coin. All right, so let's go on to X. Let's see. Can I see my activity on X? Notifications. Yeah, so people like my stuff. Somebody posted, where is it? Germany. They said, oh, I hold more Bitcoin than Germany. Look at that, 0.007. They only have $800 worth of Bitcoin. I don't know if that's actually true. I don't think it is. And I said, holy shit, me too. By a lot. All right, what else? Okay, here. So I actually got a reply from Lace. I'm starting to get my channel out there a little bit. I got to engage with the community and get some more people to see my stuff. So say hello to Lace ID, the next step towards a more secure and self-sovereign Web3 experience. Lace ID is our new initiative focused on bringing decentralized ID, or DIDs, directly into the Lace wallet. I cannot wait to see this in action. This means giving users full control over their digital credentials, secure, private, and verifiable. And so I said, very cool. Sounds like it pairs well with Midnight. And I said, indeed it does. A match made in techno heaven. So there's Lace replying to my stuff. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this Vivek Sen, while you are scared, new whales are buying Bitcoin like never seen before. They know what's coming. And I said, I'm neither scared nor a whale, but I'm buying too. And so people are liking my stuff. I'm getting myself out there. Oh, Bitcoin. Mr. Butters liked my post. Let's see. All right, so let's get into my bookmarks, because there was a couple of things here. Here's one, some important skills. You can pause this and look at it if you want. I'm going to move on. Hey, what do you know? What do you know? I'm teaching you things that schools won't teach you. Look at that. Does that look familiar? Does that look familiar? Does it? Actually, mine looks a lot better if I'm honest, but this is just a meme anyway. Look at that. This is valuable information that you're getting on this channel. So take advantage of every minute of it. Feels like my air conditioner turned off. In fact, it did. So if you are considered poor or lower class or whatever. You have income and you have expenses, and that's all you do. You are somebody who works a job and you make your money and then you spend your money. And that's your life, right? So as a business owner, I've already elevated myself above this. It took a while. Obviously, this is where we all start out. As a child, we get allowance and we spend it on stuff. And we save it and we spend it on stuff, right? That's how it goes. So some people never elevate out of that. And it's okay. It's there has to be those people. If you are middle class, like my family is, you have a job, you get income in the form of a salary. And then you have liabilities like a mortgage, a car loan, credit card debt, school loans, all of this stuff. I don't know how well you can read that. I don't know, can I zoom in? Not too much. Okay, so you have these school loans, credit card debt, all that stuff. And then your liabilities and your expenses are kind of tied. So not only do you just have expenses, you have liabilities and expenses. Now, I think people in the middle class probably have assets too, but that's not on here. All right, so the rich apparently don't have a job, but they take things like real estate, stocks, bonds, notes, intellectual property, and they get money from that, and they use that as their income. Rental income, dividends, and investments and royalties from their intellectual property. So that's how rich people make money. And then they pay their taxes and their mortgage payment and things like that, because they have mortgages, consumer loans, and credit cards, right? So the cash flow comes from the assets. Okay, the liabilities of the middle class are the assets of the rich. I thought that was interesting. Okay, my feed has been corrupted. I think this is kind of funny with the little raccoon hands coming up, and the cat's like, "Get out! Get away from my food!" All right, I don't know what this has to do with Bitcoin, but it does. All right, this is stupid. This is really, really dumb. And I don't ever really like to use this word, so I will not. If you donate to any government to reduce national debt, you're 100%, I'll just say stupid. You're 100% stupid. The U.S. government is now offering citizens the option to donate via Venmo and PayPal to help reduce the $3.67 trillion debt. Does the government not take enough of your money already? Are you not satisfied with the raping that you are receiving from the government, and you're just like, here, take some more. Here, have some more. I don't know who in their right mind would do this. But anyway, do they not take enough of your money? Not trying to FUD or sound schizo, but it's actually concerning that multiple Satoshi-era wallets are exiting entirely. These are OG cypherpunks from a tight-knit circle who might collectively know something insane, like Bitcoin has a fatal flaw or Satoshi is about to reactivate. I don't think it's that. Based on what we talked about last week, I think people are starting to go through and exploit wallets that have not been moved in a while, because most likely they're lost. Most likely. So that's what I feel. All right. So they're asking Grok, what is the Federal Reserve and how do we fix what they have broken? The Federal Reserve, while publicly overseen, is owned by private member banks that profit from its operations via capped dividends. Okay. Critics like Rothbard argue that it enables fractional reserve banking, creating money from thin air, fueling inflation, a hidden tax, eroding public wealth while benefiting financial elites. This centralizes power, exacerbating inequality without direct accountability to citizens. For balance, proponents say independence ensures stability. What is the alternative to this corrupt system? One word answer only. Bitcoin. And I just got a text from my mom. Yo, you can take that right out of here. Defund the what I'm hearing. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. What happened? The raping page for the roads. Do not bring that in here, Ramon. We've gotten in trouble for other things that people said, so please be careful what you say. So I just got a text from my mom. She said the police were just here and they got the guy on footage at the Walgreens. Because I told you, the dumbass walked into Walgreens. I mean, if you're going to do something shady, I don't think you want to do it where cameras are around. So obviously they're fucking stupid. And hopefully they fucking get this guy and lock his ass up. So, there you go. That is a breaking news update. Bitcoin. God's way of distinguishing who is smart and who is poor. All right. Man hits a block with a bit axe, finds not one but 2 girls who love him for his personality. If only that were true. He looks like a nice guy, though. Who knows? All right. Reminding you that you are mostly water and you need your daily dose. If you don't know what to pursue in life right now, pursue yourself. Pursue becoming the healthiest, happiest, most healed, most present, most confident version of yourself. Then the right path will reveal itself. That is so true. It's not about timing Bitcoin. It's about time in Bitcoin. Okay, the more time in, the more the payoff. Someone just mined a whole Bitcoin block by himself. That's so cool. And it wasn't me because I don't mine to solo CK pool. I mine to my own pool. Because that dude paid a significant amount. I don't know how much. It was like 2% or something. So that's like, I don't know. What is it? I don't know math. I have to use a calculator. So if it's a 2% fee that he had to pay to solo CK pool, he just paid just shy of $7,500 to CK pool for the pleasure of doing business. And if I ever get a block, whenever I get a block, I will not pay anybody any fees. Rate my crust. Look at that beautiful ribeye with the butter on it. Good thing I already ate. All right, let's see. How long will my Bitcoin miner last? That is such a great question. We get this question a lot. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your miner's lifespan isn't measured in years of operation. It comes to competition timeline. That timeline is getting interesting. I'm going to read this whole thread, but you can see my miners have been dying left and right, unfortunately, so I don't know what's going on. I think it's power related because of all of my power usage, because I'm not a mining operation. I'm just a household. All right, with all due respect to Tom Lee, nobody is using Ethereum. And so this is the active addresses that like we look at here on Bitcoin, which is significant. Let's see, what are these? 720,000. It's 650,000 right now. And what? I don't know what I'm looking at. But anyway, nobody's using Ethereum. All right, best ever Bitcoin ad. How long is it? It's a minute. I actually didn't listen to this, so maybe we'll listen to this. As long as it doesn't have music. It's got my music in the background.
This archaic system.
Mother's maiden name? Leibowitz?
You're telling me this guy is how things get verified.
That's my job.
I'm just saying, you shouldn't have to buy $10 worth of gum if you just want 79 cents worth of gum. Why do you get charged your money to take your money from your account? And if you're out of money, they charge you for being out of money?
What?
An overseas transfer takes 5 days?
Business days.
Why?
What are they using? A Zeppelin?
I deposited the check Monday.
But Monday was a bank holiday.
Why is this the way it is?
A bank holiday?
This system
What's a bank holiday?
makes no sense.
This makes no sense.
Who designed this system? Is this really the best we can do?
Hello?
crypto, we deserve better.
Yo. See, at least we're getting some Bitcoin marketing. That's not bad. I don't mind it. It's nice. I enjoy it. We like a little bit of... There you go. A little bit of advertising. Never hurt nobody. All right. What are your priorities? Eat steak and eggs for breakfast and you're a weirdo. Drink 46 grams of sugar for breakfast and you're normal. Make it make sense. I prefer steak and eggs. I don't always eat the steak, but I always eat the eggs for breakfast. And when I eat breakfast, this week I skipped breakfast twice. And it's okay. I just had coffee. I used to not be able to do that. Like literally not at all. And now I can. I'm getting older, folks. Maybe one day I'll wake up on time with my alarms. I still don't understand why I have to pay income taxes when the Fed can just create $3 trillion out of thin air whenever it wants, arbitrarily. Yeah, me either, Mike. Me either. Mendrick says, men, if you've held Bitcoin for 5+ years and you're still out of shape, you need to figure out what the fuck you're doing with your life. We're here to support each other, but it's time to put in the work. That's real true. I agree with that. And I'm a little bit out of shape. A little bit. Just a little bit. So I'll get my shit together, don't you worry. I'll be a beefcake soon. So yeah, this is for sure right here. Bitcoin looks like two completely different assets before and after the ETF. The days of the parabolic bull markets and devastating bear markets are over. Bitcoin is going to $1 million over the next 10 years through a consistent oscillation between pump and consolidate. It will bore everyone to death along the way and shake the tourists out of their positions. Strap in. I'm so ready. But yeah, you can see, so pre-institutional era, post-institutional era, and it's just been pump, sideways, dump, pump, sideways. So that's what we're looking at. I hope you're ready for the crypto wave. 15-year HODL whale sold a nearly zero cost basis Bitcoin stack for a $9.5 billion profit. Can't believe he capitulated right at the start of the bull market, right? I don't understand it. Another whale from 2011 just woke up and sold 14,000 Bitcoin. What is going on? I don't think these are actual people selling. At least I hope not. All right, Mark Moss is really good. If you don't know who he is and you have never seen his stuff, check him out on YouTube. He's really chill, really to the point, really good production quality. Got a lot of good videos on there. Hey, we got 10 people watching on YouTube. That's incredible. Anytime, okay, let me tell you the secret. Anytime I say the word hack and apparently scam in my titles, those blow up. So welcome to the art of clickbait. But it was not clickbait. I actually did get scammed. Go back to the beginning of the video if you missed that section. And then 4 people just left. Goodbye. The Holy Grail Bitcoin indicator is the Pi Cycle Top indicator. It has perfectly nailed Bitcoin cycle tops in 2013, 17, and 21. But what is it calling? What it's calling next is hard to believe. While everyone is expecting Bitcoin to peak in Q4, the Pi Cycle Top is calling for a peak in Q1 of 2027. Isn't that interesting? With the Bitcoin price being $395,000. Isn't that interesting that this correlates with what he's saying? We're just going to continue to ride up. And perhaps we are not in a 4-year cycle anymore. Perhaps we are in a 12 or a 16-year cycle, like the S&P. I think it's a 16-year cycle. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, maybe. So that's interesting. The only way we're going to find out is after it's happened. So hold in, strap in, get your bags packed, get ready to go. Take profits along the way. Okay, watch your eyes here. I'm going back to my note that's white. You got to set price targets. Okay, set these price targets. Take your profits. You dollar cost average in. You dollar cost average on the way up and on the way down. Okay, that's how you get good exposure and normal sleeping habits. All right, the U.S. government just created a GoFundMe page. Tell me you're broke without telling me you're broke. It's horrible. I don't understand who would send that. All right, millennials, this is me. Millennials have to stop being exit liquidity for boomers' retirement. No more, I mean, somebody has to, but no more buying $1 million homes that were bought for $50,000 and a few blueberries. Bitcoin will demonetize real estate and end the housing bubble. Join the winning team. Buy Bitcoin. All right, let's do just one more here. There is an estimated $30,000 to $50,000 bit axes distributed globally. I have a nerd axe. It's basically the same thing. It runs on the BitAxe open source software. So I am part of that. There's no way. I have two. One of them stopped working. There's no way to know exactly how many, and there's no way to track them. And there's no way to shut them down. You can literally run this off of a solar-powered battery, and no one can stop you. And you can have a Starlink, and no one can stop you. And if you have a node, where is that? This is what Bitcoin mining is supposed to be. Let me go find that. Where is it? You know what I'm looking for. If you don't, you're about to find out. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Bear with me just a moment. I don't want you to get dizzy as I scroll through everything here. Excuse me. So sorry. It's taken a while to find what I'm looking for. But hopefully you know, otherwise you're about to be surprised. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Where is it? I know I just saved it. It was recent. Dagnabbit. There it is. Boom. That's the one. So, if you have a node, if you have a BitAxe, if you hold your own keys, you are a self-sovereign individual in Bitcoin, and that's all you need. So literally, you can run these two devices off of solar power, and you can have a Starlink and get yourself some internet, and you cannot be shut down by anyone. All right, let me turn this off again because I saw something I wanted to show you. Blah, 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 blah. Throw me some chats if you're still out there, if you're still watching. We're going strong, over an hour here. Let's see. Okay, I think we're here. Yes, there we are. Everybody wants the view. Nobody wants the climb. I certainly don't want the climb. I'll take the view, though. But I'm climbing, that's for sure. Creating a global money for 7.9 billion people with only 30,000 lines of code. Compared to the banking system that has 1 million bank locations. 1 million, that's crazy. Yet 3 billion people still can't open an account. That's crazy. Okay, this is where we're ending. Right here, friends. Right here. Okay? Where are we ending? Can you tell me where we're ending? I believe that says Nokia right there. I believe that says Nokia. And I believe it has a little antenna. So I believe this right here is where we are in Bitcoin. Bitcoin calls. Will you answer? Hello. Yes, I'd like to buy some Bitcoin. Oh, fun fact. So just for fun, this is $100,000 Bitcoin. This is $1 million Bitcoin. And this is $100 million Bitcoin. What do you say? Do you think? You think so? I think so. All right. I forgot to tell you about something. This is pretty interesting. I'm going to be working on a short on this. I got some content I need to put up, but I need to make it happen first. So I was looking on the Google Maps. If anybody is still with me, go ahead and throw something in the chat for me. Say hello. Say, I'm still here. I'm interested in what you're about to say. So I was in a hotel in Orlando, and I looked at the Google Maps. And on the Google Maps, I noticed within the hotel. Yo, how did you know? Within the hotel, I noticed on the Google Maps there was indeed a Bitcoin ATM. And so I said to myself, of course you have to say that, let's go check out this Bitcoin ATM. And I did. And it looked like just a normal ATM. It says ATM. And then when you walk up close to it, you're like, oh, what the heck? It's just an ATM. Did I video it? I did video it. And so it says, get cash. Oh, come on. Get cash. Boom. And then it says, Bitcoin. What? But of course you can only buy Bitcoin. So you got to get the app. You got to do the wallet. You got to do the thing. Make sure you have the following: an app, Bitcoin wallet, and a debit card, which is silly. So you put your order number in. I didn't do it because I have probably better ways of buying Bitcoin. But yeah, I'm interested in Bitcoin ATMs. And so I was curious. Basically, I was curious. So yeah, it looks just like a regular ATM. Let me just look at my video again real quick. Cardless ATM. So it has two options. It has a Bitcoin ATM and a cardless ATM. I imagine they both go through that app that they are offering. So anyway, I think that is that. What do you say? What do you say? Drop some comments down there if you are having a great night. I hope you had a great day. I hope you're going to have a great evening, and I hope that this show was a part of your great evening so far. Thanks for being here. I think we're going to call it a night. What do you say? Let's see. If you want to help out humanity in our mission of evolution, a couple things that you should do. Number one, be patient with this person right here, the person in the mirror. People make mistakes. Sometimes the mistakes are quite serious. I will encourage my mother, be patient with yourself. Okay? We fucked up. It happens. And she said she's incredibly strong-willed and is handling this incredibly well. And she said, we still have our health. We still have each other. It's just money. And here's the kicker. We're from New York, so she's a little spicy. I hope these fuckers rot in hell. And I think they will, because they got the fucker on camera. Because why the fuck would you go into a Walgreens when you're trying to steal people's money? Anyway, enough of that. Those people will get what is coming to them, but with yourself, you must be patient, because you will make mistakes. And sometimes they'll be quite significant. So be patient with yourself. Number two, be respectful of others, even if they don't deserve it. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. She was respectful to this person who was literally stared her in the face and stole her money right there, and she handed it to him. But I bet she was respectful, because that is my mom. She is the best person I know. Yo, Gertie Lawrence, Nakor, Philippines, Bitcoin, Gamblajor, Pistairs. I have no idea what any of that means. But thanks for chatting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, be respectful of other people, even if they don't deserve it and they steal your money, and they're going to burn in hell. But it's okay. Bitcoin Earth. Philippines, Bitcoin Earth, Jamari. You're just typing stuff and I'm just reading it, so it's all good. I hope you're having fun. Let's see. We just got a new candle. Let's see where we're going here. Where are we going? That is not what I want. All right, we are slightly up. What is this? Oh, that's a daily candle. Okay, here is... Where are we at? Here's our latest candle. Ever so slightly up. I'm looking for a breakout here. What about you? Number 3 on our mission of evolution. Be honorable to all earthlings, big and small. Number 4, as always, your body is mostly water. Get your daily dose and stay hydrated. Where, oh where is my friend Fussy from Australia? Where, oh where is he? I miss him and I hope he's well. Alright, final request. If you want to help out the channel in our mission of growth, look at that Bitcoin. Look at that beautiful hand-painted Bitcoin. I kind of left these things alone. I haven't done much with them, but I need to get back on that train, buddy boy. If you want to help out the channel in our mission of growth, because to the moon we go, there's a couple things that I'll ask of you. I'm just showing you all the little trinkets that I have here on my desk. Freedom money. If you want to help out the channel in our mission of growth, a couple things that I will ask of you. Number 1, hit that like button. Number 2, smash the subscribe. Number 3, poke the notification bell so you get notified whenever I put out new content. Number 4, share the show with everyone you know. That'll help us grow for sure. For sure. Number 5, join the conversation on the free Discord with bonus. You can get 2 months free of my Patreon, and like I said, I'm getting back into it. I'm gonna have more time here the next week. I got my mornings to myself. I work in the afternoons until late in the evening, so I may do some morning streams and I may do some morning Patreon posts. So I'm getting on it. I'm getting up. I'm waking up. Send me your good vibes. Number 6, you can join the Patreon if you feel like supporting me as an individual, as an artist. All right. And the final thing that you can do, if you've done all those things, if and only if, and I know you haven't, so you need to hit that like button, you need to smash that subscribe, you need to do all those things, please. And then after that, what you can do for the multiverse, for the universe, for, don't forget, the galaxy itself, for the solar system, and we're down to Earth on the planet, for your country, your community, your city, your block, your house, and your room, but most importantly, for yourself. The most important thing that you should do for yourself and all those other people that I mentioned included in the previous statement is have a great night, and I will see you for our weekly recap tomorrow. Peace.